Hey everybody, Marcus here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I've got some stuff for you today. As you can see here, I have the DJI Mavic 4 Pro, the granddaddy of consumer drones right now. This is DJI's current flagship consumer drone. And then in the mini drone category, I've got the Mini 5 Pro. Again, this is kind of the preeminent mini drone available of any brand out there right now. But let's get to the business at hand. The folks at Freewell sent me filters for both of these drones. I've got a filter set for the Mavic 4 Pro here. And then for the Mini 5 Pro, I've got the Mega 16 pack. Let's get these filters out of the box and we can show you exactly what we've got. Okay, let's start with the filters for the Mavic 4 Pro. The diffusion glow mist filter, 1/4 it says. I'm not exactly sure what 1/4 means. 1/4 strength, I'm not sure. But I see it's got, you can open up the package here, and this is interesting. So it explains to you what a glow mist does is it softens highlights, and then it's got instructions on there on how to install. And then in typical Freewell fashion, they've got a QR code to show you how to install, and then also another QR code to show you how to use the product. And the one that I'll use the most, of course, is the Split ND Filter 4-pack with the ND filter. So let's open that up. They show you how to install the filter on the drone, and they give you QR codes again for installation and for learning how to use them. So let's take a look at what they have. So, and I like the way they explain this on here. They're showing an ND8, which would be on the main lens, and then the ND4 on the secondary telephoto lenses, and they go right through. You got an ND16 with the ND8 on the secondary lenses, and again explains it to you to use that on normal sunny days, and then an ND32 and ND16 on the secondary lenses. That's for really bright days. And then the ND64, and you'd be surprised how often you'll use an ND64 under harsh sunlight. And then, of course, it's got the ND32 on the secondary lenses. So here's what comes in the boxes. They give you a little bit of documentation about warranty. Freewell always gives you a cleaning cloth to keep your lens on your camera and the filters clean as well. Now let's open these things up. Let's start with the glow mist filter, and you just simply have a snap here and pull it open, and there it is right there, easy enough. Let's hold this so you can see the wording here, and there it says glow mist 1/4, and that's on the main lens, and then the two secondary lenses are just UV filters. Okay, now the one you really want to see is the Split ND filter set. So let's get that open. Again, you got a pull tab there, and yeah, they're kind of in here both ways here. So let's start at the top. So we've got the 16 with the ND8, and then a 64 with the 32 on the secondary lenses there. Let's flip it upside down the other way. And you've got the ND8 with the ND4 on the secondary lenses, and the ND32 with the ND16. Okay, now let's take a look at the Mega 16 pack for the Mini 5 Pro. They have included a ton of stuff here. So you've got a 16, 32, 64, 256, 512, and ND1000. That ND1000, you can use that to get really cool motion blur shots of vehicles, etc. It really slows things down. And then it also has the same, well, almost the same filters, including a polarizer. So you've got an ND8 with polarizer, 16, 32, 64, 128, and 256, all with a polarizer included. Honestly, those are the ones you're going to use the most often. And you can set that polarizer to reduce glare. But then it also includes a UV filter. That's essentially a clear filter, and I would honestly use that to kind of protect the lens on the camera as much as anything else. Then you have a light pollution filter there that can reduce light pollution. And then you have a mist filter there to cut down on some highlights. And then CPL, that stands for circular polarizer. So that's when you just want your naked lens, but you do want a polarizer on there. So let's open this box up and take a look and see what's inside. Just like the others, you got instructions for how to install the lens, and it tells you the on the polarizer, the sweet spot for horizontal and vertical alignment. Then again, you got QR codes for installation and learning the basics. And yeah, it's listing the individual filters here that happen to be in this pack. Let's get them all out of the box and get a better look. Okay, so we got boxes inside boxes. So the everyday 4-pack here includes the UV filter, the light pollution filter, the mist filter, and then the circular polarizer. And again, if we open that up, I think it's going to tell us the same thing. It's going to tell us what the filters are for, same thing as far as installation, etc. And then the Bright Day 6-pack. So that is the UV filters that include polarizer. Let's open that up and show you. And I really like how they give you this guide to tell you, kind of a guide as to what filter to use and what kind of light. And then the all-day 6-pack here, and again, this thing, I like what they say about the ND 1000, very bright day and long exposure. So those long exposures, I've used those before. That will get you some really cool shots of moving objects. It induces a lot of motion blur, and that can look pretty cool. Okay, just like the other filter sets that I showed you, all of these include a cleaning cloth and documentation with them. But let's open them up one at a time. So let's start with the everyday 4-pack. You've got the circular polarizer, the glow mist filter, the light pollution filter, and the UV filter right there. And this next one is the Bright Day 6-pack, and honestly, it's the one I'll probably use the most. And there you have the 8 through 16 filters with circular polarizer. You see that red ring around there? That is the circular polarizer, and you can see the indexing mark on there, the adjustment. Then finally, we have the all-day 6-pack, and that's the one that's pretty darn interesting because it takes you from an ND 16 all the way up through an ND 1000. So pretty useful bunch of filters here. There is probably not a situation that you could run into with your Mini 5 Pro that you wouldn't have a filter that would work for it here. So yeah, enough of that. Let me show you how to install these on the Mini 5 Pro and on the Mavic 4 Pro. Okay, let's start with the Mavic 4 Pro. The first thing we're going to do is take the lens cover that's comes from the factory on the drone, and you're just going to turn it to the left. So I'm going to just grab it here and simply pull it off just like that. And these do have glass in them, which is a good thing. So then here is the ND8 with the ND4 for the secondary lenses on there. And it is kind of interesting. I want to point out, you can see the connectors right there. Some of the earlier versions of this drone that came out with electronic ND filters. I don't know how that works, but evidently they're adjustable. It also evidently was something that didn't work out very well because DJI quit shipping them with those. But anyway, we're talking about Freewell here, and they've got some great filters that work well on this drone. So we're going to do just the opposite of what we did, taking the other cover off. So I'm going to slip that on there and then just turn it to my right, and it's that easy. You've got the filter installed on the drone. Hey, okay, so now for the Mini 5 Pro, I've got an ND16 here, and you can see that there are 3 little tabs on each side of the filter there. And then if you look on the camera, you can see these, I don't know, they look like cooling fins. So that's what those are going to snap into. And what I've found is if you kind of roll it on, if you put it on one end first and then the other, it just goes right on. Okay, there's only one thing left to do. We need to get out in the field and try out these filters. I don't know which drone I'm going to choose. I'll use one or the other. But what I want to show you is how to use an ND filter to achieve motion blur. And that's the primary thing that you use an ND filter for, is when you're shooting video to get that natural looking motion blur. What you're trying to do is slow down your shutter speed to the point that you can get, again, the way your human eye sees it, natural looking motion blur. So yeah, this is quite a spread of filters here. Let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air and let's try them out. Hey, okay, so I'm out in the field. I've got the Mavic 4 Pro, and I've got my Freewell ND filters. So it is a pretty sunny day, fall day today. You guys will have already seen UAV forecast on the screen. The sun is out, but there's some high wispy clouds up there. So I'm going to probably start with an ND16, and then we'll go to a ND32 if we need to. But we're going to be shooting in 4K 60 frames per second. So with the 180 rule, we'll want to set our shutter speed to 120th. So the first thing I'm going to do, though, is we're going to fly this guy just as is, and we're going to show you the difference between with no filter on the drone and with an ND filter to achieve motion blur, and that is what an ND filter is for. My plan is to set up a waypoint mission with the drone, with the camera looking straight down, and we're going to go over some of these tree lines, and as the drone is going over them, shooting in auto without an ND filter on there, you shouldn't see any motion blur. But as we put the ND filter on there, and I'll go into manual settings then, and so we'll get that 100, we'll shoot for that 1/20th of a second, because again, we're going to be shooting in 4K 60 frames per second, and we should see some motion blur. In fact, we will see some motion blur in that video. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take it over to an busy intersection that's close by. I'm just going to set the drone up there and get some footage of traffic going by without the ND filter on, and then with the ND filter, and you should be able to see some motion blur in the traffic as well. Again, I said you will see some motion blur in the traffic as well. So anyway, let's start out with no filter. Let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Okay, you've got the DJI Mavic 4 Pro on the left with no filter on there, just natural. And then on the right hand side, we've got the Freewell ND16 filter, and you're going to see motion blur in all of these trees as we fly by. Again, on the left-hand side, there's no filter on the DJI Mavic 4 Pro. And then on the right-hand side, we've got the Freewell ND 16 filter, and you'll see motion blur on those cars as they're going by. Hey, okay, I thought that turned out pretty good. I just reviewed the video, and I was very pleased with the motion blur I saw as we were flying over the trees when we had the filters on the DJI Mavic 4 Pro. You could do the same thing with your Mini 5 Pro with this kit. It looked good. And then when we looked at that intersection with the cars going by, for sure you could see some motion blur in the cars as they sped by. It just works out pretty good. If you want, you can freeze frame those videos and you'll definitely see the blur that I'm talking about. It gives you a more pleasing natural look. That's the point of ND filters on your drone when you're recording video. So in any case, I guess that's about it. This is Marcus with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I appreciate that you took the time to watch this video today. Freewell filters for the DJI Mavic 4 Pro and the DJI Mini 5 Pro. See you on the next one.